Last we left, the Green Dragons had split up, with half the group heading to the previously abandoned cart and horses, and the other half following Vi back to Phandalin. It's a bit dreary in here. Would somebody do me the honors of playing a tune? Any bards? Ooh, yes, go ahead. Much better. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Zinnia, Boxy, and Priscilla reached the cart, where they immediately spotted a goblin tenderly petting their horses. Boxy, in his tiger form, pounced on the goblin, pinning him to the ground. Priscilla took the opportunity to use a length of rope and restrain him. Tony, that's the goblin's name, was given a choice between death and following the party. Not much of a choice, but he chose to follow. The felled log that blocked the road was moved with a group effort. Tony didn't help much, of course, but the adventurers got it out of the way and continued to Phandalin. Boxy and Priscilla rested in the back of the cart, while Zinnia and Tony got more acquainted while driving the horses. Meanwhile, Vi successfully guided Tomek, Thornman, Bartholomew, and Cheppy back to town. At the official entrance, the group spotted the head of a dwarf on a pike. The head of Gundren Rockseeker. Tomek did not notice right away, giving the adventurers a bit of time to read through the posters on the town bulletin, most noticeably the Help Wanted ad for the Red Bands. Once the head of Gundren was brought to the attention of Tomek, he was thrown into a fit of rage and marched directly to the town hall. Confronting the mayor, Tomek demanded justice, but the mayor calmly warned Tomek to choose between abiding by the law or meeting the same fate as Gundren. Cheppy, who similarly made no headway with words, fired an eldritch blast at the mayor, with little effect. Tomek charged forward, knocking the receptionist out, and readied himself to fight the mayor head-to-head. The mayor, of course, called the town guards, who outnumbered the party, and the party immediately surrendered. Well, that is, except for Thornman, who took a slash from a longsword, and that, of course, made him come to his senses. Tomek, a bit bull-headed, fought the best that he could, but found himself severely outmatched. After a brutal beatdown, him and his adventurers were brought downstairs into the dungeon. Each person was given their own cell, and after a short while locked up, the mayor came down, offering a pardon to the adventurers in exchange for 1 year of service to the Red Bands. With no immediate takers, the mayor took Cheppy upstairs for a private discussion. She was hesitant about joining, asking many questions, all of which the mayor answered. His persistence won over as Cheppy donned the trademark Red Band ring, signifying her allegiance. And while Cheppy may have intended this act to be a ruse, the ring's mind-controlling effects took over immediately, and Cheppy found herself a devout believer in their cause. With one adventurer down, the mayor retrieved Thornman and brought him upstairs. Thornman and Cheppy were allowed to have a private discussion away from the mayor, and while Cheppy was vehemently supportive of the organization, Thornman was a bit skeptical of her clarity of mind. Without Thornman's agreement to wear a ring, he was brought back down to his cell. Of course, once he was at his cell's door, he had a change of heart, and decided to put a ring on for himself. As the magical effects tried to take hold, he was able to resist, recognizing the ring's intent. He had tried to remove the ring physically, but was unable to. The mayor could tell that Thornman was not quite under his complete control, and tried to stall for time. Of course, being a bit short on that said time, Thornman got desperate, and magically commanded the mayor to remove while presenting his ringed hand. The mayor swiftly cut off Thornman's thumb, and with it the ring. Realizing the sailor's resistance, the mayor forced him into the cell and stormed upstairs to his office. Cheppy tried in vain to convince Bartholomew to join the Red Bands. but Tomek interjected, announcing that he wished to join himself. Tricked with the promise of a new follower, Cheppy was convinced to show Tomek her ringed finger, which he severed with a deft strike, and with the ring separated, Cheppy's mind control also was separated. The fairy loudly announced to the mayor her intent to convert Tomek, but it was only a ruse to buy the group some time. Tomek released everybody from their cells and revealed a hidden tunnel of which they all escaped through. As Priscilla, Zinnia, and Boxy got to town, they stopped at Barthen's Provisions, where they tried to deposit the cart of goods. Barthen agreed to store them while they waited on Tomek, but conversation was interrupted by a guard who demanded taxes on the delivered goods, as well as an adventuring fee from the newcomers. The adventurers in question tried to fight back, but Barthen de-escalated the situation, and the guard left with his newly acquired funds. The group unloaded the cart and headed to the woodcutter's home, where they were told of a potential ally. The woodcutter's wife invited them in, fed them lunch, and told them of the town's troubles with the Red Band group, who were trying to take over. The townsfolk were desperate, of course, and willing to take help from anyone. This discussion was cut short as the group was ushered into a hidden staircase below the home, through an underground tunnel in an unknown direction, and to a war room of sorts. Supplies, plans, and the rest of their group filled the room, and the adventurers were given time to rest and decide on a plan of action. It was only then that they realized that Whirlwind was not with them, both groups assuming he was with the other. Where's Whirlwind? What devious plan will the Green Dragons and Robin Egg Blue Yellow Jackets come up with? How will they fare against an entire organization of devout followers? Let's find out.